What's up, world? I wanted to shoot this video to wish you a happy holidays and share with you kind of a takeaway message, a takeaway lesson for me for 2019 that I think we can use to usher in 2020 and make it the best year of our lives. All right, world. So first of all, happy holidays to you from myself, from Entre, from the entire Entre Nation, to the entire world. I just say to you, happy holidays as this year comes to a close. I hope that it has been the best year of your life, and I hope that it is going to be next year the second best year of your life, because there's an even better one to come. And I want to talk about what I've learned this year that has helped give me the confidence that I can say that with confidence. I can say that this year was great, next year is going to be even better. I started about a little over a year ago on this mission to basically help people have an awesome life. Entre Nation, Entre is my training company. Entre Nation is our community of basically awesome life seekers, people that want to have an awesome life, and especially people that are building some sort of a business or a skill set to support the pursuit of an awesome life on the basis of the belief that life is supposed to be awesome. Like, we live in a time where we have these possibilities and we're crazy not to take advantage of them. So that's really been my mission now for an entire year. As I close up the year, I can say, hey, this is the first full year of my life that has been unidirectional, on mission to help myself and others achieve total life awesomeness with, business and or business skills at the foundation of being able to pay for it. Like, there's a lot of talk about happiness and bliss and awesomeness and all this stuff. I don't know if everybody talks about awesomeness as much as I do, but people talk about happiness, right? It's hard if you don't have control financially and in terms of time. Like, if you're stressed about money, it's really hard to be free and fulfilled most of the time. And if you're having to trade all your time for whatever money you have, it's also really hard to be free and fulfilled all the time. So when I talk about life awesomeness, it's not only about money and time, but it's definitely largely inclusive of financial and temporal freedom. Because within that, now you have the room to maneuver. You have the room to focus on your family relationships. I'm married, I have 4 kids. I've had a lot of stuff to work through, but you know who doesn't work after 5 o'clock? Most therapists. If you got an issue to work through with your wife, being like, oh, well, I don't get off work until 6 o'clock. I won't be, then I rush, I won't be home till 7. Maybe the therapist can squeeze me in at 9 p.m. and we can go work through our issue. It's hard. Even haircuts. Like, I look at my life now and I'm like, I get haircuts in the middle of the day, in the middle of the week. When do most people get haircuts? I don't know. The world we live in, it says, okay, take 75% of your time that you're awake and just wipe it out because you got to go trade it for money. That is not the recipe for happiness. And historically, it's been the recipe for survival, which is why most people have done it. Most people have agreed to the trade, because if you didn't, you died. But we live in a world now where that's not the deal anymore. And my mission for the last year has been to promote awareness that it's not, content marketing and digital and real estate and the things that I talk about. They're not just, it's not because they're fun. It's because they're actually like the pillars, or they can be pillars of building your entire life, re-architecting your entire life. And as I spend more time in this place of like, okay, I'm willing to opt out. I've opted out of the norm. I've opted out of what society tells you have to do. I've opted out of what, most of my friends did with their life. I've opted out of, what most college grads do with their time. I've just opted out of all of it. I said, okay, I'm only going to go through life with the perspective of, I want this to be awesome as much of the time as possible. And, I don't have, I wasn't an early stage investor in Uber. I wasn't I didn't used to have a 7-figure job where I saved up, $7 million and then quit my job to go travel the world. And now I talk about how awesome life is supposed to be. I was a broke jazz musician in my 20s who had to figure out how to build the plane and fuel the plane and get the plane to take off and now fly the plane, and all from the ground up, right? Like I had to figure it all out. And so now that I've got, it's been 12 years since I kind of started to figure it out. And it was all around changing my thinking. It was all around getting out of the freaking box that everybody else was in. And so what I find is the further I drift away from the box, just the better life gets. The more, it's not like aggressive, it's not like me versus them, it's me for them. It's me for you. But if you are still stuck in the box, I can't come be in the box with you. I have to be out here throwing lines, going, come on, let's get out here. This is where all the fun is, man. This is where all the fun is. Your job, I'm not saying quit your job, don't be reckless. I have 4 kids. Like, first and foremost, I got to provide for them, right? But the belief, the understanding, the consciousness that there is so much opportunity out there if you get out of the damn box. That it's not this counterculture. Again, this isn't 1927. It isn't like I'm going to be a radical and have to go ride the rails and live out of a burlap sack. Now you can be a radical and go, I'm going to go online. I'm going to learn to do some kind of real estate arbitrage. I'm going to learn digital marketing. I'm going to learn how to build funnels. I'm going to learn how to drive traffic. I'm going to learn how to do real estate wholesaling. I'm going to learn how to, the skills are there. The skills are there. And look, could we live in a world where everybody did them and there was no, manufacturing or production or physical boots on the ground kind of work being done? No, we could never live in that world. We're not there yet. There's not enough technology yet to support total automation where everybody can be hands off. But is that really the concern? Because you have a lot of people, I know a lot of people go, oh, Jeff, people still need to do those jobs. Yeah, but do you? Okay, I get it. Some people right now, there are still toilets that need cleaning. We don't have little robots that go in and clean all the toilets. We don't have little robots that go in and fix all the cars. We don't have little robots that, make the coffee. Like right now, we still need baristas. But does that mean you have to be one? Because we at the end of the day, is your life supposed to be a sacrifice to the general need, or is your life supposed to be a celebration of the individual potential? Because here's what I promise you. If you decide that you want to learn the skills that can set you free and give you this empowered, awesome life, and then the next guy wants to learn the skills that can set him or her free and live this awesome, empowered life, and then people start to do that, then there's going to be a vacuum of opportunity for somebody to go, man, all the baristas are learning to become digital marketers, or all the baristas are learning how to flip real estate, or all the baristas. Well, now Starbucks goes, we're having to pay more money to attract more baristas. So maybe it would be more advantageous to invest in creating a robot that could make coffee. Like, it's not your responsibility to prop the world up with your human sacrifice because, the world needs people to do X. I've opted out of X. God, thank God. X, X sucks. I'm sorry, maybe that's not politically correct to say. X sucks. I've opted out of X because I don't care that the world needs people to do X. Because I'm doing my why over here, and I'm real clear on my why of why I'm doing it. See what I did there? Right? Yeah, anyway, wait, that's a Y. That's an X. I'm real clear on my why. I know why I've opted out of X. Because X sucks. X is the guy in the medieval system going, somebody's got to plow the field, and I know that I can never be a lord, so I'm going to grind and grind and grind every day. And here's the thing, though. It's changed. The world has changed. Like, you don't even get to grind anymore. You don't even get to build your muscles anymore. You don't even get to be out in the sun anymore. Now it's like, I'm going to build, and I'm going to take all my productive capabilities, I'm going to take all my energies, and I'm going to take all this creativity that I'm told to foster and grow, but I'm going to channel it into somebody else's dream. Now it's not about plowing someone else's field. Now it's not about planting someone else's crop. Now it's about plowing someone else's field of dreams. It's about planting and watering somebody else's dreams. Whose dreams are you building? Well, Jeff, we can't live in a world where everybody's building their own dreams because you need help to build your dreams, right? So who would do the work? Who would be the labor force? Who would be the employees? You know who would do it? 7 billion other people. Does that mean you have to do it? This is the dichotomy, the irony of the world that I live in, is that Anybody can do anything, but everybody can't do everything. But at an individual level, then we still have a choice. Do I want to do anything? Or do I want to be anybody? Or do I want to be everybody? Because we know everybody can't do anything, or everybody can't do everything, or whatever I said. But that's okay, because I'm not everyone, I'm just one person. And as an individual, I can do anything. That's what Jeff Lerner is about. That's what this mission's about. That's what I have learned this past year, is that you can do anything if you are, and actually, Gary Vee, I was watching Gary Vee, he said this, and I was like, holy shit. He just described what I figured out. He said, if you want to be an anomaly, you have to act like it. You can't want outlier results without demanding of yourself outlier behavior. You can't want an extraordinary life without demand. The word extra, meaning additional, extraordinary, in addition to ordinary. You have to do in addition to ordinary, or you will never be in addition to ordinary. You never be anything beyond ordinary. And so going through life, realizing that what everybody else is doing is a hopping off point. It's not a fitting in point. It's not the drivers of human personality, right? We want to be different. We want to stand out, but more deeply, more fundamentally, as a security and a protection mechanism, we want to belong. We don't want to seem too exotic or too weird, because we might get evicted from the clan and eaten by the tiger, right? That's like how we evolved. We want to belong more than we want to be different. And it's a tug between like the visceral and the physical versus like our ethereal and our sublime. Like our sublime self goes, it's all about uniqueness and creativity. And I mean, the top need on the Maslow's hierarchy is self-actualization. We want to be expressed. We want to manifest. We want all this stuff, right? Yeah, but okay, that's all great. Once I have money, I can do all that. Deep down, I got to fit in. I got to survive. I got to be like everybody. But man, what do I do with this deep longing? What do I do with this desire? It's like, yeah, but wasn't I created for more than this? Isn't that part of what separates humans from animals? Is that animals were created to survive and humans were created to express? What if nobody, people are so worried about, well, what if everybody thought that way? Then who would do the work? But what if nobody thought that way? What would be the point of doing the work? What if everybody bought into the idea that, well, everybody can't be an artist, everybody can't be a creative, everybody can't be an innovator, everybody can't be an entrepreneur, everybody can't be a dreamer. Some people just have to settle in and do the work, and do the grind, right? Okay, well, what if everybody actually agreed with that? What if everybody's like, oh, you know what, you're right, screw it, I'm gonna stop writing symphonies, I'm gonna stop painting pictures, I'm gonna stop designing buildings, I'm gonna stop doing anything other than just try to keep my job. At that point, we would be animals. We would just be digging tunnels to survive, or, hunting rabbits to survive, or doing, chewing grass to survive so that we can have sex and make babies, and teach them to chew grass to survive so they can have sex and make babies, so they can teach them to chew grass to have sex and make babies. Like, we would be a zebra at that point. So I'm really damn glad that there are people historically who have been these behavioral misfits, these outliers. And I used to be a jazz musician, so I come from the arts world, and I look at the arts world and I go, okay, yes, there have always been people that have said, I want to be a creator, I want to be unique, I want to manifest, I want to self-express. I think it's important, I think it's necessary in this world. But that life wasn't supportable for most of history without benefactors. So the artist, the creative, the life of the artist or the creative, and as a former jazz musician, I can speak to this, is this dance between, I want to do my art, but I have to feed myself, if not my family. And in order to do my art, I have to rely on the support of rich people. You look at artists, like Mozart and Haydn and Bach, they were court musicians, right? They were musicians who were employed by royal courts, and they would be given some time to go up in the attic and do their crazy creative stuff. But most of their actual work was like commissions for the king, or commissions for the Lord, or commissions for the church service on Sunday. And so they were having to do the dance too, of going, well, I want to march to the beat of my own drum, but I still got to play in the band. It's only now in the world we live in the time and to some degree the place that we live in, where you actually have the choice to go, I don't even have to be in the band anymore. I can march to the beat of my own drum, and I can learn some skills that allow me to literally play my own drums to whatever freaking time signature I want. And if nobody else likes it, nobody else wants to pay me for it, I don't ever have to subordinate to what the market wants from my creativity. Like when I was a musician, I had to play the same songs over and over and over because otherwise I wouldn't get hired for gigs. If I went out on a gig and I tried to play my own creative musing, people would be like, I don't know what he was playing. I just wanted to hear Andrew Lloyd Webber show tunes all night. Don't hire him back. He's radical. He's a malcontent. He doesn't fit. He doesn't do what the gig requires, right? Now I can play whatever the hell I want. If I want to go sit in my room and go like this on my keyboard for 7 hours only in the key of C sharp, but every G I flat, and it always sounds weird to everyone else, but I like it. I can do that because there's skills in this world that really, really give you the freedom to live. It's not, again, the temptation is to go like live like this, like, yeah, screw everyone, man. I don't want to offend, I'm not trying to offend anyone. I don't think anybody's, from what I can see, nobody can see that. But yeah, like it's like, oh, screw the world, man. No, it's not about screw the world. It's about, no, don't let the world screw me. I'm not trying to screw the world. I just don't want the world screwing me anymore. And what I see is that most people have been lulled into an arrangement. The trade is, I get screwed by the world, but the world keeps me alive, entertained, and teased with possibility. Teased, not fulfilled, teased. Because the reality is, most jobs are not on a path that leads to a fulfilling retirement. Most careers are not on a path that leads to promotion. And again, even inside a corporation, like inside a company, it's still the same dynamic. Whether you're outside the box or inside the box while living outside the box, which is really kind of how it always is. Even inside the box, the accelerant, excellent thinking and doing is outside the box behavior. Like if you work at Google, or you work at IBM, or you work at Tesla, or you work at Honeywell, or you work at Halliburton. I mean, I have a friend who's a directional driller on oil rigs, but he pretty much names his price and gets to go where he wants to do what he wants. Yeah, the work is hard, but he actually enjoys the work. But part of the reason he enjoys the work is because he's the best at the work. Every job is actually pretty cool if you're the best at it. But being the best, again, if you want to be an anomaly, you have to act like an anomaly. Being the best at anything is outlier behavior. So again, even if you're operating inside a box structure, the behavior and the thought process that's going to empower you in the box is still outside the box. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm not like, screw everyone. Like I get, even inside a company, if I reached a point in my life where everything that I'm doing crashed and burned and I was like, oh, damn it, I really got to get a job. That wouldn't scare me. I'd go into the business and I would dominate and I would be the best. And I would first of all, I would put myself in a position where I would do a job. I would choose a job where I could be the best because I would play to my strengths. I wouldn't go try to be the best power lifter on the Olympic team. I'd probably go into sales because I would play to my strengths. But whatever I went into, I guarantee you I would absolutely crush it because I wouldn't go into something that I couldn't crush. And that's the outside the box element that I'm talking about. And that's what I've learned in the last year. I'm going to try to bring this home to the point. That's what I've learned in the last year. And that's what I know for the next year. Because if you play to your strengths and you see the world as it truly is, not as you want it to be so that you can feel safe and comfortable, not as you wish it were so you can feel nostalgic, but as it really truly is. Scott Peck in The Opening of the Road Less Traveled said something to the effect of, sanity is about a commitment to seeing reality as it truly is, no matter what the costs, no matter what the price tags, no matter what the implications for your life. If you commit yourself to that and say, within the world as it truly is, I'm going to play to my strengths. And I'm going to go into anything that I do, any place that I go, any work that I engage in, whether it's inside the box or outside the box by default, I'm going to be the outside the box guy. Because excellence is gonna be my average. Being my personal best is gonna be my default setting. And those two things right there are gonna differentiate you from everybody else. They're gonna alienate you, they're gonna make you enemies, they're gonna make you friends, people respect you, some people don't like you, some people are threatened by you. But it's all outside the box. You can measure your likelihood of success by how inside or outside the box you are to some degree. There's bad ways to be outside the box. But in terms of your commitment to outside the box excellence and personal performance, that's going to predict in large part your likelihood of success. It's the fundamental dichotomy of life. And this is how I'll leave this, because I could preach about this for hours. I've literally been on stage talking about this for like 4 hours at a stretch. As the more and more that I've realized that this is the world we live in, this is the truth we all inhabit, whether we want to hear it or not. but I'm not going to turn this into a 4-hour video. So I'll simply say this. The irony of life is that we have this deep longing to be unique and special, but we also have this deep longing to fit in. And that is the fundamental crisis of every human life. And to the extent that we go, okay, I'm gonna, and here's the hack to actually tend to both desires, because it seems like those are oppositional, right? Well, I want to be unique and special, but I also want to fit in. Well, how do I do both? The way you do both is by being excellent. Excellence is the unifier between the desire to fit in and the desire to be unique and special. Because if you're excellent, then you don't have to go do bizarre, rebellious things. You don't have to go use drugs and get tattoos and try to freak people out. You can do the same things that everybody else is doing, but you do them with excellence, personal excellence, not competitive excellence, just your own unique, special, personal form of excellence. And all the uniqueness and specialness is wrapped up in how you do the things, but the things themselves are reasonable. They don't marginalize you. That's how you hack the competing desires to be unique and to fit in, is to do things with excellence. And it is on that basis that I say, I know that next year is going to be better than this year, because the longer you commit to and practice excellence, the better things get over time. Maybe not minute by minute, maybe not day by day, but the long-term arc, the compounding curve of excellence is universal, undeniable, and not going anywhere soon. So happy holidays, my friends, my family, again, from Entre Nation and to Entre Nation. I love you guys. I love this world. I say sometimes that I am both blessed and cursed with a condition that I can't see people as they actually are. I have lenses permanently, stitched to my face that see people as they could be. And my life changed when I let myself be seen the same way. When I stopped looking at myself as maybe I thought I was, and I started looking at myself as I thought I could be, which is what I was already doing for everybody else. And I think that's a lot of us. We see other people, we see all this possibility, all this splendor, all this wonder. We look at ourselves and it's like all the color drops out of the lens. Start looking at yourself through that same lens. It is incredible what you're capable of in this world. So, happy holidays. Thank you for your time. I guess this video is going up on YouTube, so I need to say, if you want to hear more like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you as a subscriber. But most importantly, I'm just glad to have you as a fellow human being. So, I hope you've had a great year. Know that you're going to have a great year next year. Let's go crush it together. Take care, world.